American naval power provides a backdrop to a British announcement, but the two are linked. Rishi Sunak's in San Diego to meet the American President and Australian Prime Minister as the UK government publishes its latest plan for defence and security. And the top line is it's going to cost us more.
It's clear that the world has become more volatile, the threats to our security have increased, and that's why we're investing £5 billion more in our world-beating armed forces over the next 2 years and increasing our defence spending to 2.5% of GDP so we can continue to be a world leader when it comes to defence and keep our country safe.
China is a big part of this review, described as an epoch-defining challenge to the international order. The government doesn't want to simply talk of China as a threat, but many see growing Chinese assertiveness as part of a bigger, dangerous picture.
The 21st century is going to see a battle between two forms of development for humanity, a struggle between two forms of development. Open societies like us, the United States, the European Union, and closed authoritarian societies, China, Russia, Iran, etc. We cannot lose that struggle because humanity's future will be much, much darker if we do lose that struggle.
Since the previous review, the invasion of Ukraine has forced a reassessment, but the government still says we have to commit resources to what's called the Indo-Pacific region. For instance, sending our new aircraft carriers there. Some experienced security experts say we do have to make choices.
I think our choice now has to be priority Europe, European security standing with Ukraine. Of course, as a major country, we've got the scope to do something in the Indo-Pacific as well, and I think our American allies would expect us to be at least there with them, but we will only ever be a secondary player.
Britain still does have serious resources to deploy when it comes to security, but just how and where to use them, that's the tricky part.
Let's speak to Andy now, who's in at Westminster for us. So, Andy, what's the response been like to the Defence Review in Westminster?
Well, CL, I think you could sum it up pretty much as that's fine as far as it goes, but we need more. The Conservative chair of the Defence Committee, Tobias Ellwood, has said that Britain is sliding into a new Cold War with a peacetime budget. And I think part of the problem is that at the time of the previous review, people thought that conventional battlefield weapons like tanks and missiles were a bit out of date, that the future security concerns weren't going to be settled by those sorts of weapons. And then Ukraine has taught everyone that actually that's not the case, and Britain is spending a lot of money right now to replace all the kit and material it's been sending to Ukraine to help that country defend itself. On top of that, you still have the continuing threat, some would say a much more dangerous, long-term, insidious threat from China. And to respond to all of that, you need money. And a lot of people here saying we're going to need more money to do that. And that promise of 2.5% of GDP being spent on defence, well, there's no timetable for when that's going to happen.